Shakespeare knew why you stay with the wrong person. He knew in 1603. He knew before attachment theory, before couples therapy, before anyone had the vocabulary to explain why smart, self-aware people look at a situation that is clearly not working and choose it again anyway. He wrote it into tragedy after tragedy, different characters, different centuries, different catastrophes, and the through line in every single one is the same quiet devastation. Not that they loved the wrong person, but that they knew and stayed anyway. That part. That's the part nobody talks about. You know the situation. You are not confused about whether this person is right for you. You are not missing information. You have the information. You have had several conversations with your friends about the information. You have journaled about the information. You have made a pros and cons list that was embarrassingly one-sided. And you are still there, still answering the texts, still showing up, still finding reasons why this time is different. This version of them is the real one. This moment is the one where it finally becomes what you always believed it could be. Shakespeare wrote 600 pages of this. He just dressed it in doublets and called it literature. Start with Othello because Othello is the most brutal and the most honest. Othello is a general, powerful, respected, genuinely great at what he does, who marries Desdemona, a woman who loves him completely and without condition. They are, by every measure, a good match. She chose him against her father's wishes. She sees him clearly and loves what she sees. He has everything he needs to be happy. And then Iago starts talking. Iago is Othello's advisor, his trusted person, the one he lets closest. And Iago is systematically, methodically, for reasons that are almost petty in their smallness, planting doubt. About Desdemona, about her faithfulness, about whether what Othello has is real, or whether he is simply a man who has been fooled by a woman performing love. Iago never shows Othello proof. He shows him suggestions, implications, half evidence arranged carefully enough to look like a pattern. And Othello, brilliant, decorated, experienced Othello, falls for it completely. Not because he's stupid, because the doubt was aimed precisely at the place he was already insecure, his age, his background, the part of him that quietly wondered whether someone like Desdemona could genuinely want someone like him. This is not a 17th century problem. This is the 3 a.m. problem. This is lying awake, assembling a case against someone who has done nothing wrong because your brain found a loose thread and pulled it. This is reading a completely normal text message in the worst possible tone because you've been conditioned by previous relationships to expect betrayal. This is letting the Iago in your head, the voice that says you're not enough, that this is too good, that it will end badly, so you might as well find the evidence now. Talk you out of something real. Othello destroys his relationship not because Desdemona failed him, because he trusted his insecurity more than he trusted her. He stays in the spiral instead of asking the question directly. He performs certainty about something he is not certain about, and by the time he realizes the doubt was manufactured, it is catastrophically too late. Staying with the wrong person sometimes means staying with the wrong version of your own fear. Sometimes the wrong person is the story you're telling about the right one. Then there's Macbeth. And Macbeth is about a different kind of staying. Staying in a relationship that is actively making you someone you don't want to be. Lady Macbeth doesn't make Macbeth do anything he wasn't already capable of. That's the terrifying part. She just removes the hesitation. She is the person in his life who says yes to the worst version of him when everyone else would have said stop. And he stays. He keeps choosing her voice over his own conscience because her voice is louder and more certain, and ambition, when it's reflected back at you by someone who believes in it completely, feels indistinguishable from love. This is the relationship that changes you. Not dramatically, not all at once, gradually, in the specific direction of whoever you're with. You become more cynical because they're cynical. You become more closed because they're closed. You start saying things you don't believe because their worldview has slowly become the water you swim in. And when someone outside the relationship points it out, you defend it because by that point, you've built your identity around the version of yourself they helped create. Lady Macbeth falls apart. Macbeth falls apart. The thing they built together was never stable because it was built on the wrong foundation, not love, but mutual permission to be worse. You can love someone and be genuinely measurably worse for being with them. Shakespeare understood that those two things are not mutually exclusive. We keep acting like they are. And then, because Shakespeare never lets you stay in the tragedy without showing you the comedy of it too, there's A Midsummer Night's Dream. 4 people in a forest, love potion applied incorrectly. Everyone desperately in love with the wrong person, absolutely convinced their feelings are real and their choices are rational, making increasingly chaotic decisions based on completely enchanted perception. It's played for laughs. It is also exactly what it feels like from the inside. The certainty, the absolute conviction that this person, this feeling, this particular mess is the one that makes sense. The magic in A Midsummer Night's Dream is just desire made visible. The way wanting someone badly enough makes you unable to see them accurately. You see the version you need them to be. You see the reflection of your own longing. You stay not because of who they are, but because of who you've decided they are. And those two people are sometimes barely related. The spell breaks eventually. It always does. The question Shakespeare keeps asking across 400 years of plays and tragedies and comedies and histories. The question he never quite answers because it can't be answered from the outside is whether you'll recognize the forest when you're standing in it, whether you'll see the love potion for what it is before it costs you something you can't get back. You already know if you're in the forest. You've known for a while. Shakespeare just wanted you to admit it out loud. So, is there a relationship you stayed in longer than you should have, and do you actually know why? Not the reason you told people. The real one. Drop it in the comments if you're ready to be honest. And if you want more 400-year-old playwrights diagnosing your entire romantic history in under 5 minutes, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.